I have something that has been on my heart for a very long time. I mean, very long time. Natural born woman here. Why are we on this internet? Like, I'm a goddess. I don't need no man. Man, this, man, that. But you do realize being a goddess. You do realize being the authority of this construct, this paradigm. There's some accountability and some responsibility for the current state of it. For all of us that's out here want to sit here and boast about, I'm a goddess, I don't need no man, man bring me down, man is draining, man is this, man is that. You better get off your high horse and take some responsibility in why man is the way that he is. Naturally, woman is the receiver, man is the giver. It's just that basic. And as a giver, you naturally do not have any ill will or intent against the individual that you are giving to. Woman, you exist in dual dimensions. If it wasn't for you, that man would not know or understand wickedness to the degree that he does. We taught them. We gave them. We disrespected them. We manipulated them. We persuaded them. We built this. So if you want to holler about being a goddess and you don't need a man, take that responsibility and that accountability. And attempt. I ain't saying you have to, but just attempt to shed some grace, some understanding. Because if the shoe was on the other foot and you was disrespected first, you was manipulated first, and you was persuaded first, you'll probably be taking what you was taught and using it against the other one as well. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm not saying that the perception and I'm not saying the participation is not equal. Because man got to take responsibility for his side too. However, as fertile ground, we really don't have a whole lot to stand on other than the cultivation and the birthing of life. We don't give life. We cultivate and we develop. We nurture. It's called the yin and yang for a reason. Both sides have a responsibility of power. Both sides are together God, the universe. I don't care how much you want to beat on your chest and be egotistical. Fuck that. Woman cannot survive without man, and man cannot survive without woman. But if you want the responsibility, get on this internet and be accountable for your participation of the bullshit that's been going on since the beginning of time. And if you can't do that, shut the fuck up. It doesn't matter what you've been through concerning the opposite sex. It doesn't matter how much you've been cheated on or whatever. Guess what? You play a part too. Because in order for these things to happen, you have to allow it. This victim mentality and then want to sit here and be vengeful, want to be spiteful and condemning character and all that. Cut that out. Cut it out. And half of y'all are grown enough to be my grandma, great grandma. Please sit down somewhere. Please do. And you know what? That man told me not to get on this internet, to, play it safe, keep my thoughts to myself. But my soul is having a hard time resting when I'm supposed to be resting. My heart aches because guess what? I am a woman who don't walk the way y'all do, but yet and still I gotta hear this shit. I gotta be engulfed. And woman, while you're sitting here condemning your counterpart, please, 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 for those of us that have sons, nephews, fathers, uncles, I can keep going. Just remember, you're talking about those men too. You're condemning those men too. You're demonstrating to your sons how much you really, truly love and care about him. And you're demonstrating to your son that it's okay to be exactly what you saying he is. Because if I was in their shoes, and this is me even sitting here attempting to imagine my dad talking bad about women, and my dad is a beautiful man. As a child, growing up, seeing this representation of my parent would make me hate your species more, would make me be disrespectful to your species more, would make me dislike and dishonor you more. Be careful about how you use this. Be careful about how you carry yourself. Be careful about how you demonstrate love and harmony. Because it's supposed to be all out of love. And love is not vengeful. Love is not spiteful. Love is not prejudice. It's not self-righteous. And it's not egotistical. It's okay to feel the way that you feel when you've been hurt, traumatized, manipulated, disappointed, etc. That's fine. If you feel drained, I get it. Trust me. Been there, done that, wrote a book about it. I ain't trying to go back. But what those men back then did to me ain't got nothing to do with the one that's here now. And what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to take their deeds and their intentions and convict him and condemn him for their shit. All I'm saying is to be a goddess, to be a god, it doesn't matter what side of the fence you on, male, female, what have you. The responsibility of power, wisdom, accountability, understanding, etc. It goes beyond the goodness. Because God, in every sense of the word, is all things. All things, is inclusive. So as a goddess that is aware and know that I exist in multiple dimensions, I have to accept my thinking, my heart, and my soul. I have to accept what that means. And I have to make sure that my processes are not just valid, but falls in line with my purpose and my soul's desire and intent. If I'm wicked to the core, then that's what it is. If I'm good to the core, then that's what it is. However, in this reality, in this paradigm, we have something that's called a free will. And in that free will, unfortunately, emotions and experiences have the propensity to change and or reconstruct who we are to the core if we allow it. All I'm attempting to convey to everyone out of love, because this is love. Don't allow your experiences dictate or change who you are to the core. And if you're good to the core, don't be cold-hearted. Don't allow your experiences to say, man, fuck that. Never again. They full of da 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 da. It's over. Oh, I forgot where I left off at. My apologies. But basically, we all hold a responsibility. Try not to let your experiences dictate your purpose, your calling, and what you're supposed to do. Relationships are not for everyone. That's the truth. That's factual. Some of us are here on the face of this earth solely for our purpose. And unfortunately, having those intimate relationships can take you off your path. So I'm going to say it again. No, relationships are not for everyone. But even if it's not for you, it's not meant for you to sway the thinking and the process of someone else. It's not your responsibility. If it was, you wouldn't be who you are and they wouldn't be who they are. Two of the exact same thing cannot exist at the same time in the same region, conducting the same business. It's over 800 billion people on the face of this earth and counting. And counting. One way of thinking, one mindset is a type of destruction that unfortunately I can't be on board with. It's too much knowledge from the ether that is keeping me awake at night because of all this hypocrisy and bullshit. And the ether wants me to say something. But saying something holds a lot of weight. So I may not even be speaking for a long time after this one, because I already know what's about to head my way. Peace, love, and happiness. Just stay true to yourself, because self is all you got. And I'm going to close by saying this. As a goddess, I know what it means to take accountability for all this nonsense, to be responsible, and to shed some grace. Now, in doing so, I have to also acknowledge my own participation, rather it be the allowance or the invocation of the nonsense. Doesn't matter. This life cycle is a process of growing and learning. I'm not going to become vengeful. I'm not going to sit here and condemn an entire species because of the experience of one or two people. That's crazy. That's insane. And we all experience different levels of insanity. But that is a whole nother level of insanity to really think that your race will survive with you and you only. The sexes are set up the way they're set up for us for a reason, and that is for reproduction. If you don't want to reproduce, that's your prerogative. That's fine. But in this God body, reproduction is one of your responsibilities. In the God body, when you think about the survival or the thrival of humanity, of this paradigm, this concept, this reality. And to participate fully, we can't sit here and become so selfish and so self-centered and so self-righteous in the process of healing and in the process of ascension. I cannot ascend without my counterpart ascending as well. I cannot ascend condemning my counterpart and belittling him and using him and manipulating him and making him feel less than. Vice versa. I'm sure it's some men watching this that do the same thing when it comes to women. Stop that. Stop that. Because we all hold responsibility and accountability in. And I'm going to close by saying this. As a goddess, I know what it means to take accountability for all this nonsense, to be responsible, and to shed some grace. Now, in doing so, I have to also acknowledge my own participation, rather it be the allowance or the invocation of the nonsense. Doesn't matter. This life cycle is a process of growing and learning. I'm not going to become vengeful. I'm not going to sit here and condemn an entire species because of the experience of one or two people. That's crazy. That's insane. And we all experience different levels of insanity. But that is a whole nother level of insanity to really think that your race will survive with you and you only. The sexes are set up the way they're set up for us for a reason, and that is for reproduction. If you don't want to reproduce, that's your prerogative. That's fine. But in this God body, reproduction is one of your responsibilities. In the God body, when you think about the survival or the thrival of humanity, of this paradigm, this concept, this reality. And to participate fully, we can't sit here and become so selfish and so self-centered and so self-righteous in the process of healing and in the process of ascension. I cannot ascend without my counterpart ascending as well. I cannot ascend condemning my counterpart and belittling him and using him and manipulating him and making him feel less than. Vice versa. I'm sure it's some men watching this that do the same thing when it comes to women. Stop that. Stop that. Because we all hold responsibility and accountability in